Welcome back to Planet Coaster, and finally we are here at opening time at Adventure Pier. And yeah, well, you know, we've let kind of as many people as we can possibly let in, and it's absolutely rammed, kind of beyond rammed. So you're now watching this in real time as opposed to being sped up, and I have had to go back and I have had to limit the amount of people that are coming into the pier, to be honest, because as you'll see when we zoom in shortly, it's just something else. It's absolutely something else. The amount of people that have just flocked in and kind of headed for the back of the park and all the rides and the roller coasters, and particularly the Witches ride as well. It's just staggering. It really is staggering. But we are operational. We are operational, thank the Lord. It's been about 9 hours build this, and you know, it's relatively simple. Even in Planet Coaster terms, it's relatively simple. But we want to take you on some rides. I want to take you on some rides, and we're going to start with the Whirlwind, because the Whirlwind is, you know, the spinning coaster. For me, this is my favourite coaster, which is why we're going to start with this one. You know, the Eurofighter coaster will be more it will be more popular because it just is more popular than Planet Coaster. But I love these little spinning rides. You know, you see them all around the country, the Reverchon ones particularly, little mouses, and they're all identical. So, you know, the challenge to build something completely different, something that's got a little bit of spin, a little bit of pace, and then a little bit of slowdown, so you can really take in the scenery and the atmosphere on the end of the pier. And as you kind of dart around here, that's where it clicks off, and that's where it goes for the first time. And you kind of just like spin round really slowly before you get the drop. Drop goes down. There are block brakes, as you can see, kind of all the way around to make sure we can run multiple cars without any issues. And you know, you can just see the scenery in the background. You can see the helicopter, you can see the bits above you, you can see the ferry building in the back. And yeah, I just really love this coaster. The coaster itself, I can see me saving as a blueprint. This fast bit, quick swing round, and it's instantly back. And it automatically faces forward in the station. I'd love to say it's planned like that, but that's kind of how it's come out. But yeah, look, I mean, you know, from a distance, it's a great looking coaster. You've got a bit of carnage, you've got a bit of shelter, you've got a bit of underground, and then of course you've got a bit of openness, you've got a bit of height to it, and yeah, a real fun family ride. As you can see, with the amount of people in the park at the moment, some of them will flick out shortly. Really popular attraction, which is great to see. You'll see the little looper as well on the left hand side, but obviously the other main attraction has to be the Eurofighter coaster, and it's taken a little time to put this thing together. I think we're going to go into Nightfall as well while we're on this, which will be fascinating to see. But straight out the corner, you can see the Witches ride, you can see the rest of the ride around you, up the lift hill, and then into this real hanging loop. And you know, I've done this on purpose. This hanging loop I've done on purpose, and it is a real hanger. Absolutely love it. Through the archway, around the Witch's hut. And it's just like, you know, the curve and back through the building ruins and everything. Just magnificent. In-air twist, around the dragon, through the castle, and then back down into the station area. And of course, you know, you have to remember this is a pier. We've gone for the pier because it's different. That's why we've gone for it. And you know, there's a little bit of scenery and there's a little bit of kind of extra, and you'll see out and about here as well. You know, the holes where everything is. I just think absolutely magnificent. Best thrill ride in my view has to be this. Has to be the Twister, which is the breakdance. Anyone that's been on a breakdance knows how mental these things are. And you know, the one thing I wanted to get on this, particularly for the night view, is the strobe light. Now, there is no strobe light for Planet Coaster. There's no kind of option to have a strobe, not that I've found anyway, by any means. And you have to program it in such a way that you have it. Now, I've chosen, rather than having several, I've chosen to have a floodlight, which covers the whole ride. You'll see it off-ride shortly. The smoke releases, and then the strobe light comes on. And it's such a great effect, and it really kind of adds to, you know, the on-ride experience here, which you're seeing. You can kind of see the blur of everything around you. I just love it. I just think it's absolutely fantastic, and it's one of my favourite rides in the game. I've always liked break dances, and going on the original rodeo at Chessington World of Adventures, which was the juggler back then, right the way to Dynamo, Alton Towers, and you know, the travelling ones and things as well. As we switch back to daytime now, you see we'll kind of move it back forward. a little bit and take you back to night, so you can really kind of see the extra bits on here. And you'll also see the breakdance. So the breakdance has got a couple of lights there, and as we go back round, you'll see the floodlight kick in as it goes through the program. The great thing is it was added to the game afterwards, but you can add the sequences to the program and really kind of, you know, really kind of go some on it. But I think it looks fantastic at night. You know, I've put in some lighting, not too much lighting. There's a few bits and pieces on top. And of course, at night also, the Witches really comes to light. You know, this is a little children's ride, if you will. It just goes around the castle, the ruined castle. You've got the roller coaster imposing above you, you know, made it so the lights go up. And of course, when you get in here, the Witches are going. In a little cave they're still in, the Witches are still going. Still brewing the spells, still entertaining as you kind of go around. You know, the building around you is collapsing. You've got some of the original lighting, you've got some knocked over lanterns as well. And yeah, it just interacts with the rides really, really well. And again, you know, this wouldn't be out of place at a theme park, but this is a pier. This is a pier. It's a really short ride. That's what it's supposed to be, a pier type ride as you go through the rocks and back to the station. Back to the daylight again, and you know, you'll see the other rides, the Princess ride here, and you'll see how busy the park is as well at the moment, because the queues are absolutely astronomical as people are queuing to get on rides. But as I said, we have limited it, and we will cut it back very, very shortly. And of course, you've got the beginning as well. In the beginning, we've themed around a vintage area, and you know, I wanted to do this because when you hit a pier, you know, I always feel like it's a vintage thing. You don't really see very many new piers, although some have been rebuilt, which includes the one in the UK down at Breen as well, down at Weston-super-Mare area. That has been rebuilt from fire, but generally piers are old. They're kind of, you know, they're gonna have some classic to it. You think of the Santa Monica Pier, you think of Brighton Pier, even the old Brighton Pier, which has fallen down, and you kind of, you know, really see the significance of these things. So we wanted, I wanted to really get kind of some old-fashioned rides in here, you know, and a bit of an American stance to it as well. So we've gone for the classic American Whip. You know, you can't not have a park with American Whip. And we've gone for the Sizzler ride as well, the grass cutter Sizzler. Obviously there's no grass here, but a baseless one. And of course we've got the American Diner as well for run up. And then once you come out of the vintage building here, that's it, you're in the park. You're in the park, and you know, you've got two themes. You've got kind of devastation around you know, the village on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you've got the fairy tale devastation as well. One massive twister has ripped through the whole pier, and you know, anyone that's been on a pier will know at the end of the pier is generally devastation. Genuinely windy, really windy. So you know, this is the kind of thing that we wanted to do. I kind of put into place. You know, there's a few support rides as well sitting at the back here. As you can see, we've added the jets as well to the Huss top spin there, and yeah, it just looks fantastic. You know, it gets you know, you can customize it, obviously what program you want. We put a little bit of theming around it, not too much to be honest, because again, you know, it's the balance between what do we want it as a pier, you know, with all these fiberglass rocks. Obviously you're not going to have massive rocks like you would do in a theme park. You've got the fiberglass rocks, nice lightweight ones, polystyrene sort of walls and things, just, you know, make it really look something. And then you've got these massive machines operating on the end. I don't think I've ever seen a Huss top spin, to be fair, on a pier, but I have seen kind of the smaller top spins on there as well, and you can definitely get as much as you like on there as long as you dig down far enough. But you'll see it hang, down it comes. And of course, you've got to have the spray at the end as well. You've got to have the spray at the end. So even though it has a pool at the bottom, oddly enough, there's no option to have a spray, which is really odd. So we've kind of had to add the water effects, and in adding the water effects I've had to build them right down as well, so they're tall enough to kind of reach the people on the carriage. You know, why they don't have a fountain when they've got water underneath is beyond me. It's really strange. I'd love to see that added to Planet Coaster in the future. But you can see it lock, down it comes, and these people are going to get soaked. Absolutely soaked. Don't leave it on for too long, because, you know, we don't want them drowning by any means, but get absolutely soaked, and then down comes the ride. Brilliant with the paragliders, and of course over here You know, not really a theme ride in any means, just sort of sits there, to be honest. But yeah, love it, love it. Another retro classic ride that sort of fits in with the theme. But you know, this is my most impressive coaster. I love this coaster, absolutely love it. I love the way it's all sort of come together. It's got some nice little effects on it, and you know, getting the building right. As I said before when we started this, I'm not the best at building the park by any means. You know, I've seen some amazing theming going on in the past, and you know, this isn't amazing theming, but you know, if you walked onto a pier and it looked like this, you'd be really, really impressed, and I would be as well. And, you know, from a distance, again, you know, we didn't go all underneath with the supports, but it looks like we have. You know, it's only what the eye sees. It really, really looks like it has, and it's kind of all held up. You know, you've got water all around you. It's a proper pier. I really, really hope you've enjoyed this Planet Coaster experience. It's our first Planet Coaster experience that we share with you. We build lots and lots of parks. Please leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you'd like to see differently next time. Got any ideas or anything like that? Please, please, please share them with us for future adventures. But from Adventure Pier, really hope you've enjoyed this, and we will see you in the next season.